Hey guys, Adam aka CSRadical here, and welcome to Let's Talk. Essentially, this is going to be a series where I basically pick a topic and go nuts about it. Just in full detail, this isn't like a certain story, this isn't a certain, tiny subject. It's going to be something like, okay, I'm going to pick this topic. It could be a game, it could be a movie, it could be a subject in itself. And the first one I need to go with is, it seems like the perfect one to start with. And that's Fanboys, Fangirls, whatever you want to name them. Particularly in YouTube celebrities, but I'd like to think I can take a moment to go out in other branches. But there are a whole lot of reasons that I want to get into a topic like this. I mean, to start off with, like I've said in one of my earlier videos like a couple weeks ago, I went to Con Bravo. Con Bravo is, for those who don't know and didn't see the video for the recap, it's a much smaller convention out in Hamilton. We ended up, I think the final number was about 4,400 people in total. And that convention had, a mishmash of things, whether it was artists, YouTubers, all that kind of stuff. I mean, YouTubers seemed to be the big thing that was going on, but, you get the point. There's a lot going on there, and it was a lot more condensed, and, a little bit, but at the same time, there's more freedom to it. And so that way you don't go to something like Comic-Con, and there's 5-hour lineups. No, you pretty much it was an hour, if anything, and it was okay. There wasn't anything crazy going on. But that was the first time I ever went to a convention myself. That was my first con. And while the experience was really good, there were a lot of things that, at some point during the day I would run into and would just stop and go, whoa, are people really like this? Because you see all the time on the internet that there are some really despicable, stupid people out there. But to see them out in person really changed my outlook a bit on how things are. And there's a whole whack of things that need to be done and said about people who take a fandom to somebody, something, whatever. So the biggest one, obviously, tonight, being when I record this, is actually, no, it's not, well, yeah, it's tonight. It is 12:01 at the time I'm saying this in the morning on Monday. And over the course of last Sunday night, JonTron, for example, was having a massive war with people online because of something he said. We obviously taken this out of context, or people were just being assholes about it. And fanboying can be anything. Like I said, it can be about a person, it can be about a thing, it can be about an event, it can be anything. In this case, apparently, people that subscribed to JonTron on Twitter saw him make a comment calling the PS4 retarded because PlayStation Now, which I agree with his point, it's like, why are you making this crazy cloud service to make PS3 games and whatever available when you could just make your fucking console backwards compatible and solve all the problem? But obviously the real reason is because they make more money digital than they would with discs. Any, intelligent person can figure that out. But people just hooked on the word retarded and just went batshit crazy on him about it, which led to a whole whack of things, to which I just have to say one thing. Can we get past the fact that the word retarded, when it being used in that context, is not saying, it's not referring to the idea of someone who's actually retarded, mentally retarded? Can we just take a moment to understand that we have gotten to a point now in our vocabulary where it's become more than just a way of describing someone who is mentally, disabled? Can we get past the fact that we've kind of taken that word and used it for our own purpose as it being, oh, that's dumb, or that's ridiculous, or that's just completely unfathomably, idiotic, that kind of thing. Retarded has become something we use a lot. Obviously, it's, there are some things where you can say, that's gay, that kind of thing. There are blurred lines, but at the end of the day, retarded is one of those words that you're never going to be able to change the context anymore. It's been way pushed over. So I think gays hit that point too, but, whatever. It's just that when you get people that will just snap on just the tiniest of things, and it makes you wonder, how does someone find the time and the energy to put it towards something that has no significance and does nothing to help any party involved? Because here's the one thing that I've always never understood about internet commenters. What do you really gain out of it? Does it really make you feel better? I can't imagine it being so. I can't imagine me going around and calling people assholes on the internet all day long, making me feel better about myself, when the fact is, I'm just, if I was doing that, I'd be a fat fucking slob, sitting around with no job, doing absolutely nothing with his life, and slowly whittling away whatever oxygen he has left in his tank before he dies. It gets to that point where you wonder, seriously, I get that you have a lot of issues in your life. Maybe it's whether it's your parents, maybe it's whether your history, whether it was being bullied at school. And believe me, I was bullied a lot at school, so I get that. I understand how people feel about it, but putting it back on other people, like because it's okay because it happened to you, that doesn't work. If you want to stop something, you stop it. If you don't like the fact you were bullied, don't bully other people. You start putting a different thing in the chain of everything. You really think that bullying somebody else is going to solve that? I'm going to get into that in a whole nother rant, because I'm going to get off topic here if I keep going. I will definitely do a rant about trollers another day and just assholes online. But that falls in line with fanboys and fangirls anyway. Because there are people that will hang off of every word. It's why I don't understand that Justin Bieber fucking fangirls, even after the guy gets a DUI, and they think it's okay, like it's still great. I swear to God, he could rape a girl and be convicted of this crime, and girls would just immediately go, oh, I wish he raped me. I'm not even joking. I think that would actually happen. I swear to you. I think there are people out there that were stupid enough in the head, fucked up enough in the head, that would actually say that. Or somebody was saying, oh, she had it coming, or, oh, it was probably actually wasn't rape, she's just trying to get attention. No, I swear to you, someone would actually go out there and say, I wish he raped me. Anyway. Whenever it comes to fandom, there obviously is an extreme to it. And Com Bravo pointed it out to me a lot. See how I went back full circle? I remember where I'm going with these things. At Com Bravo, there were two glaring examples. One being JonTron's Q&A lineup, where just people that were just freaking out over nothing. I couldn't believe how people... I understand that it means a lot to people that they actually get to see him. But at the end of the day, and actually, you know what? I'll push it up forward because I'm going to say this at the end. But the other thing that I saw was before Movie Bob's Game Over Thinker panel. Excuse me, I had to burp for a second there. At his Game Over Thinker panel... where, for those who don't know, Movie Bob is his main deal is that he is a movie reviewer on the Escapist magazine. He does a Game Over Thinker thing where it's more of like a game parody kind of stuff, and it's pretty funny too. But most people were just considering that it being the Movie Bob panel. I don't know why they called it the Game Over Thinker panel, because it was the Movie Bob panel, because we talked about everything. But there was one guy in particular standing next to me in line, and I had to sit there and listen to this idiot for 30 minutes while I was waiting for the panel to start. And all he was saying to his buddy was, oh man, when I get in there, I'm going to be asking him, why did you say this shit about this thing? How could you say that? You're wrong. Fuck you. All this stuff. And he kept going for minute on minute on minute. It drove me nuts because my brain is telling me, if you do not like what this guy is putting out, why are you showing up at his panel? Where it makes him think, okay, I have a really big audience here. You know that it drives me nuts to no extent that I cannot believe that when people are fans of something and then find something that completely turns them off of that person they're a fan of, they just continue to watch it and just complain about it. I'm a wrestling fan. Wrestling fans on the internet are the worst for that, because wrestling has been shit for years. It has been years. It's been shit since John Cena became that babyface champion. Babyface meaning good guy. Ever since the days of Stone Cold and The Rock leaving, it's become shit because it's become for kids, not for us. And there are moments where I can watch it and I can enjoy it again, but there are moments where I find that I can't stand it and I turn the TV off. That is the simple solution to you, all you fanboys, fangirls that don't like something a person is doing. You just don't acknowledge that it exists. That is the easiest way in life to tell someone that you don't care, that they don't have a voice anymore for you. It's the easiest solution. If you don't like something, don't commit to it. If a person's video series is not doing anything for you anymore, don't watch it. If someone's views are conflicting with yours and you can't stand the guy for saying it, don't fucking look at any of his content. It's not fucking rocket science. But because people are fanboying or fangirling the hell out at this person, they can't resist seeing that next thing, hoping it's tailor-made for them. And I gotta tell you guys, it's pretty simple and not hard to think that he's not making it for you. You exactly. He's making it for everyone that he thinks his content is for. And if it's not for you, what's wrong with that? I don't care for Lord of the Rings. Do I go out there and tell people that it's shit? No, I simply say, I've never watched it because it doesn't pique my interest. There are things that I see, obviously, and I will poke fun at. Twilight being a big one. Justin Bieber being a big one. But at the same time, that's because I've listened or watched that content and thought it looked like shit. Lord of the Rings, I've seen trailers, but nothing does. It doesn't do anything for me, so I stay away from it. I don't bother watching it because I have the feeling that I'm not going to like it. With stuff like Justin Bieber and Twilight, you come across it. It's unavoidable. Lord of the Rings, you don't see on TV, so it's kind of hard not to. Twilight gets shoved in your face so fucking much. Justin Bieber gets shoved in your face so fucking much. It's no surprise that people like me can get upset about that. But when it comes to YouTube, it's a whole nother story. I don't understand how people can make such a big deal about these things on YouTube when the reality is, on YouTube, there are millions of hours of content being uploaded daily. There's so many different things you could be going and watching, but instead you choose to go to the thing that you don't like watching anymore. It doesn't make any sense. To a person with half a fucking brain in his head, that I only use half of it apparently, but it doesn't compute at all. I don't understand why people decide to go to this length. So that's where you go with both ends. You get the people that just are so attached to that person, but even when they don't like him. But then you just have the people that are just straight attached to the point that, like, borderline obsession. And JonTron was clear that at Con Bravo. There were a lot, like some of the other smaller guys, I saw a little bit of it, but JonTron was the easy case because JonTron was the biggest name there. There's no getting around that. I get that you people really like the guy, and I'm just using this as an example, but this can go for anybody. It could be the Rooster Teeth guys, it could be Ego Raptor's a huge one too, and I'll get into that in a sec. But with John, I get that you guys love his stuff, and I get that he may, for some of you especially, he may have a much bigger impact on your life than a lot of us may ever know. But at the end of the day, he's just a guy. He's just another guy like you and me. And I guarantee you, any YouTuber that isn't one of the high-end, snobby motherfuckers that are out there, they'll tell you the same thing. They don't look at themselves as famous. They don't look at themselves as a celebrity. They look at themselves as somebody that is just like us, the guys that are sitting behind the camera, only getting a couple views with everything. They just did it because it was fun to them, and it just happened to catch an audience. And it just, started snowballing and going and going and going until it got to the point where they had to realize, holy crap, I can make a living doing this. But at the end of the day, it's like a job to them too at the same time. You gotta understand that. So, I mean, really, I don't go to my work all of a sudden thinking I'm a fucking famous because I for example, if I used to work at McDonald's when I was 15, and at no point do I ever go there and think, oh man, I feel so special. You should be happy I'm handing you this cheeseburger. There's very few. I can't say no because there's got to be some. But most of the major YouTubers, I can guarantee you, don't sit there and think, oh, these people should be thankful I give them this content. They're doing it because they think it's fun and they can happen to make money on it now. That's what it is. The guys that I met at Con Bravo this year, guys like Movie Bob, guys like Angry Joe and Other Joe, Alpha Omega Sin especially. Alpha Omega Sin was my biggest example of a guy there that really I didn't feel like at any point I was talking to someone that had any status whatsoever. He literally felt to me like he was just another guy. There was nothing else to it. And actually, what am I going to push over to Ego Raptor? It's when guys like him too, and Ego Raptor's a great example of a guy who has a lot of quotable dialogue. Same with the Rooster Teeth guys. There's a reason why Ray does not say, let's play, anymore, because people would keep fucking quoting it to him, and eventually, you get sick of it. You get sick of hearing your own stuff. So eventually you stop doing it because you don't want to hear it anymore. And Ego Raptor's the same way. I'm pretty sure there was one Q&A panel where he said, it doesn't, it's, it's nice when I hear people quote stuff that I did, but like, you guys don't understand. I listened to that same thing like 300 times when I edited this video, so it's not funny to me anymore. So it's like, these people are glad that, it resonates with you, that it makes you laugh, that it makes you cry, that it makes you do whatever emotion that they're looking to get out of you. But at the same time, like, they don't think it has that value anymore because they've seen it so many times. So when you just sit there and quote it to their face, it's like, really? What's that doing to them? It's just making them, at some point, maybe the first couple times, they're like, oh, that's cool, somebody really caught on to that. After about the 100th time, they're like, oh my god, please stop. I don't care anymore. And they start regretting putting these things out. And that's why you get guys like Ray who doesn't want to say Let's Play anymore, because he doesn't want to hear it. And I'm sure, like, you don't hear Mark Not as much anymore. You don't hear a lot of the same quotes anymore because they try to change things up, because that's how you evolve as a creator. But because people, they like to live in this age where they know the one big line, like Family Guy is full of quotes. That's why Family Guy can make it work, because Family Guy has a billion different quotes that they can go with. So you never hear the same thing over and over again because there's so many other things you can change in and out. So it works that way. But in the case of some people who, don't put content out nearly as much, like YouTubers, and especially with that one big video that everybody likes, like Metal Gear Awesome for Egoraptor is the thing that people will always remember. So you'll hear quotes from that all the time. Same with the Blanca Makes Pound Cake thing, because that got a lot of traffic. There are certain things, that, especially with YouTube creators, that will hit a lot. And Fanboys and Fangirls will just attach to and just endlessly go with it over and over and over, to the point of just, it drives everybody nuts, including the person that made it. And the other thing being the even creepier edge, where, people just want to get up close, touch them, but not like just, shake their hand or, just like high-five, that kind of... No, like legitimately be like... Where it gets to the point of like, okay, that's something I need to get into when I do a cosplaying topic, which is another thing on my list. But, again, it all comes back to, at the end of the day, these people are people just like you and me. And it's quite simple. You have to ask yourself the same question. If somebody went up to me and started talking to me weird and like just wanted to like rub their hand on me and that kind of stuff, would that creep you out? And if it does, then why the fuck do you get it in your head that you think that's okay to do it to somebody else? And that's where I don't understand with some of these fanboys or fangirls. I gotta make sure I keep saying both. Most of those people, I guarantee you, will tell you, oh, I would be so creeped out if somebody did that. But it's okay for you to do it? Can you understand the logic that goes into that? You have to treat every single person you meet, no matter what their status is, based off of the way that you would feel like you would be treated at the same time. I would not want somebody to go up to me and go, oh my god, it's Adam! Oh my god, you're CSRadical! Oh my god, can I touch you? Anytime I saw someone at Con Bravo that I knew, Angry Joe, Movie Bob, I talked to them exactly like I would talk to anybody else. I did not go with, holy shit, oh my god. I would immediately go, hey, how's it going? And like Gaijin Guma, I went right up and said, oh, how's it going, man? And immediately, before I even started talking, and he was busy anyway, and quickly I got the idea, but the first thing I said after I said, how's it going, and shook his hand, I said, look, I know you're probably busy, but, I just want to tell you, I love watching your stuff. You have done such great stuff on mixing culture with gaming. I even did a project about that. And eventually said, oh, you're right, I am sorry, I'm a little bit busy, I want to go chill out with those people over there. And I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. You're a busy guy. I get that. And that's the same way that I would expect to be treated too if I was trying to go somewhere. I'd be saying, okay, that's really cool. Like, I'm really glad that makes something to you. I'm trying to get to somewhere else right now because I got my hands full right now. But, and that's where you always say too, my panel, if you want to come and see that, I will be doing, a Q&A there, and I'll be talking with people after the panel, that kind of thing. Then that makes more sense. You have to understand that, especially with these guys that are coming in from out of the country especially, and coming here for a couple of days, they're trying to fit a lot into what they're doing. And I mean, the same thing too, if you see the guy on the street, you really think that he's going down the street just so he can meet a bunch of people and just shake hands and do whatever else. They try to give you as much time as they can, but at the end of the day, they have their own schedule. And me being a very time-centric guy, I get that. I'm very by the book. If I know I'm going to be here for this time and I'm going to go be here for this time, I'm going to take this long to do it. If I go stray off by a couple of minutes, I go crazy because that's just how time-centric I am with things. I'm so by the book when it comes to that. So when you bother someone like that and don't, give them the idea that it's okay if they can leave, like, as long as you can get your 2 cents in. And I don't mean 2 cents as like 10 minutes of splurging. I literally mean just like, at most, 15 seconds. Make it short and sweet. Just say, it's really nice to meet you. I love your stuff. This has really made a good impression on me. I even did something because of this. And then that's it. And then you also tell them, look, I know you're busy. Can you give me like just a minute? Like that kind of thing. Especially if it's just for a picture. That kind of thing. Because most of the time they will say yes. Obviously there might be times where they might be dickish about it and say no. But if you tell them, and you understand that they are busy, they want to go other places, or they're hanging out with other people, or even if they feel uncomfortable, you have to understand that these people are just like you and me. They have their own things that they want to get done. They have their own personal space, which is something that I wish a lot of people would understand. And at the end of the day, to themselves, they don't feel like they have any importance in the world at all. You get guys like the Beeves and all these other crazy A-list celebrities, they think they're fucking gods. But someone like Ego Raptor, someone like JonTron, someone like Gaijin Goomba, someone like Angry Joe, someone like Movie Bob, like any YouTuber, I guarantee you they don't feel like they're anything important at all. They are just another guy, another girl, another person on this planet that just happened to find an audience with what they love to do. That is as simple as it gets. And as someone who is a huge fan of guys like Movie Bob, Angry Joe, Alpha Omega Sin, getting to see them at Con Bravo meant a lot to me because I never thought in my life that I'd never get to see them in person. And when I did, I didn't sit there and say, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's you. I simply said, look, these are just like me. I would be the exact same way if I was like this. I'm just a normal guy. I want to walk around and be a normal guy. So whenever I went and saw one of them, I just said, look, it's so awesome for you to be coming here. Oh, I got to put my hand up for shit. I would shake their hand and say, look, it's awesome that you're here. I'm so glad you could come out. Your stuff is awesome. It means a lot to me. Like with Angry Joe, when I got his autograph, if I put this up, hang on. When I got my card autographed by Angry Joe and Other Joe, when I got up to him, I shook his hand and said, look, man, like, I'm a huge fan of your stuff. Your game reviews have helped me make decisions on stuff I was on the fence of consistently. There were games like Divinity Dragon Commander that I never would have batted an eyelash at, and then you showed it off and I'm like, wow, that looks really cool. And that's all it was. I was short and sweet. I just said, look, thanks for coming. Glad you could make it, especially because when Angry Joe's case, he missed his flight, so he missed half the convention. That's what I said. Thanks for making it. It's great for you to do that for us, especially with the sudden Q&A and the sudden autograph session, because those weren't planned, the ones that you did on the Sunday. Thanks for coming. Glad you could make it. Your stuff's awesome. It's helped me make a lot of decisions. And, just thanks for being such a cool guy. And that was it. Got in, got my autograph, less than 30 seconds and I'm done. Let the next person come in, get their 2 cents in. And I really hope that a lot of people made it easy for all these guys to do, but I'm afraid that that's not true. I know that's not true, because there are people that really do not understand how to handle people. I understand that a lot of people out there aren't very social. They don't get out a lot, so they don't have a chance to really speak to people. But at the end of the day, you always have to go back and think that, yes, you may be a bit socially inept, you may not be used to speaking to people, especially someone that has meant a lot to you, but they are just like you, and they want to be treated just like you. They don't want to be put up on a pedestal, they don't want to be treated like gods. Just treat them like you would treat any one of your friends. Just shake their hand, tell them that you're a big fan, and, just small talk it. Don't sit there and make the guy feel uncomfortable, because it's like, no one wants that. No one wants to be uncomfortable. It makes no sense. Who would ever want to be? So at the end of the day, just be yourself around them. Don't try to go out of your way to make them feel like they're the best in the world. Just be you and let them be them. If it clashes, it clashes. If it mixes, it mixes. Nothing else to it. So thanks for listening, guys. Like and subscribe to the video. I'm going to be putting up more of these. Like I said, I have to do cosplaying, and I have to do internet trollers and commenters. But I'm getting ideas to do stuff like games. Like I want to do a Persona 4 video, a Final Fantasy. Well, I'll probably do almost doing every Final Fantasy game because I got my own 2 cents to say about everything. That's the kind of thing I want to do with it. I want to be doing a lot of games, movies if I really come out. Like I'm probably going to see Guardians of the Galaxy today, which it's 10:30 or 12:30 in the morning. So I'm probably going to end up seeing it today if things go the way that I think they're going to. So, but that's what I want it to be. I want it to be a topical thing. So with this being a let's talk, it means it wasn't just I'll talk. It's a let's talk. So I want to hear what you guys think. I don't know if you guys have been in that situation where you've seen that kind of stuff, or if you yourself, have talked with other people. I want you to tell me what you think about how fanboys and fangirls handle the way that they talk with people. And if you have seen something that made you like wave wet. Oh my god, I can't talk now. This is what happens when you talk for 25 minutes. If it makes you wave any red flags, like, I want to hear those things because I'm so interested in hearing all the different stories about these things. I find it actually really interesting because me being the guy that's really into sociology, which is to study human behavior, it's interesting to me to hear that kind of stuff because I want to know, the mindset that goes into these things. But anyways, guys, I'm Adam, aka CSRadical. Thanks for watching this Let's Talk, and we will see you down the road. Take her easy.